This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Saints Pod. My name is Greg, and as always today joined by my good friend and wonderful co-host Zach. And how you doing, mate? Back off a bit of a break, feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to tackle this run-in?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a hot minute, mate, hasn't it? It's just kind of when it comes to football, there's just not been like a huge amount going on. And I know there's been an international break, and I know that we've definitely had some Saints players play in that international break. But I've kind of like it's kind of been weird to be so out of the loop. I think the only thing that me and you have really in depth discussed, and by in depth I mean laughed at, was the announcement that Tom have departed with another manager in the time period of the last week and a bit, right? But yeah, it's been so odd to not have like 3 matches a week to talk about.
It's been really bizarre. Like, I completely forgot England were playing on Friday. I and had a notification like England's draw and what it means. And I'm like, England were playing? All right, well, that's me.
It's so weird because, again, like I think I pay attention more to international football than you do. But even so, like
it's not a high bar though, is it?
I don't really pay as much attention. I like to see like I like to basically look at ex or current obscure Saints players across the board and what they're like, if they're still playing internationally or not, and what they're up to, and that's kind of like it. But yeah, I've kind of kept up to date. I'm sure we'll do an episode on like those away on international duty.
Oh, we definitely will. Yeah, I think I've got that scheduled in for Thursday. So
nice. But yeah, so it's just more so that it's kind of strange to be without football for so long, right?
Yeah, it is. There was, of course, the Legends match on Saturday at St Mary's. I don't know if you caught any of that, but Saints lost to Man United, which was a fine. Look, Ricky Lambert got on the score sheet, which was nice, and it seems like a good time was had by all.
I just think that I thought Victor Wanyama was still playing, and that's what really has thrown me off, because it's just like my understanding of the ages of footballers now just not there. Like 100%. Some players that I still think are playing that are retired. Like, because I thought, well, how long do we have Wanyama? And then I'm thinking, well, okay, like 12 years ago about that. And then I'm like, but Nathan Redmond's just signed for his like third or fourth club in like the last 2 years. Because I don't know if you just heard me, he signed for Blackburn on a short-term deal. So yeah, that was like a weird thing that's cropped up news-wise over the last week that I did see. But yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. Maybe we can't even make the jokes about the Legends team of being like, oh, maybe we could stick him up front because we're actually like in a spell of doing all right.
I mean, the vibes are immaculate, right? The feeling is good, and then of course on today of recording and yesterday at time of release, we had a nice open training session which I managed to get myself down to.
So I went with you to the last one, didn't I? Which was Russell Martin times, right? Where we got to kind of watch, and then I don't know if I decided I'd ever go again because the absolute chaos of players signing stuff is a sight to behold. As everyone storms down the rafters to get stuff signed by their favourite players. But yeah, so how was it today, mate?
Was it good, mate. Well, look. I mean, let's go to the start. It was really nice that this was free, first of all. Agreed. And not just for the benefit to season ticket holders, right? Like, we got our exclusive window, but it also went to members, and I think as far as to just fans who have purchase history, which is nice. A nice thing for the club to do. There was no, like, shoving merchandise in your face, make you buy this. There was food available, but not like, definitely go and get some food, you got to get some food. It was just really nice, chilled, good vibes, allocated seats. It was nice. It was a really nice day. It was a good thing and a great thing for the club to put on. Obviously, much easier when the vibes are high and the performances are good, right? To bring this sort of thing. But you feel like, we talk a lot about the owners and what they do or don't do for the club, right? So I've got to shout it out that this was a fantastic thing for them to do that presumably cost them some money and at least cost them some inconvenience, right? There was steward and staffs to pay and retail staff to pay, and they had the host, whose name I cannot remember, out there before doing some like games with the kids where they gave away some away kits and some sweets and some bits. And they did like a match day quiz, and great. That's exactly what you want from the club, right? It's exactly the sort of thing that we've been sort of calling out for. Just some good energy, good positivity. Great to get down and see the players train and do a short training session, and then like you say, a cascade of signing. But yeah, it was good. What got down to St Mary's, got there quite early. I don't know how I managed to do it, mate. I don't know if I was just like the first person to log into the ticket website when they went on sale on Thursday or what, but I ended up in row A or on the very front at pretty much bang on the halfway line. Sensational.
Nice.
Nice padded seats, which impressed the kids. They were blown away. It's like, wish our season ticket seats were as comfortable as this, which, led to a conversation like, well, if, finance wasn't an issue and we could pick and choose wherever we wanted to sit, would you want to move your season tickets down here so it was comfortable? And they're like, no.
How much of the game would you spend sitting anyway? What's the point?
Yeah, that's a valid point. But yeah, no, it was good. They did all of the, like I say, the quiz, the little don't call it tipping point for copyright reasons with the fans, and yeah, about 5,000 people there, which was pretty good. Yeah, they came out 11. They did some warming up. Notable by his absence, I guess the main talking point to take from me, Leo Cienza not on the pitch, not about at all.
Not James Brino, mate.
He was there. I am just really bad at identifying players. I needed you or my sister-in-law there to help me out. Mealy was trying her best, but I'm like, is that? I don't know. I think that one might be Archer. Oh, I don't know. Like,
even worse if he can't spot the numbers, mate. Good Lord.
They didn't have numbers on their training kit, so I was. It took me until about a quarter of the way through the training session to go, oh, that's Bree. So panic averted, he was there. But yeah, Leo missing from action. So I don't know. What do we think? Is this? It was kind of alluded to before the last game, right? Tonda tried to play some mind games in the press conference with Stewart and Cienza, and the answer was one of them will be involved tomorrow, and it was Stewart.
Well, you said they've both been back on the pitch, and that's what I think I'm most surprised by. Is you'd expect a very sort of calm, sort of not even full session of training in front of fans. You'd expect him to be there. Now, it could just be that he's got some time, off, and he's gone to visit family, and he's in Brazil or whatever. But it's notable, right? And I think it's more of
as well, because I don't know if you follow much of it, mate, but he's also doing an appearance at the West Quay tomorrow at time of recording today. If at time of
I guess he's not abroad then.
That's the thing, because I was also a bit surprised to see Peretz there, because I knew he was away with Israel and I didn't realise that they had kind of wrapped up their games and that he was already back. So he came out and I was like, oh, that's a bit odd. I wasn't expecting to see him here today. I thought he would be away for like the whole break. But yeah, Leo conspicuous by his absence. But yeah, do you think that it is, but his injury is pretty bad?
We never got results of the scan. I think that's telling. And I think it's because they don't want people to know. Because if all of a sudden, if we were to have said straight away, like, he's ruled out for the rest of the season, right? and he comes out and he's ruled out for the rest of the season. The psychological impact, I think, on fans, because we are a paper mache wall at the moment, right? Like we're really enjoying it. Me and you keep predicting wins. There is a lot of positive vibes, but because of how the last couple of seasons have gone, it is not something that, for say, a 2 or 3 game losing streak could not completely overturn. And I think that they don't want to put people in a space of negativity to then also put that negativity onto the players.
Yeah.
Now, I could just be overthinking it.
No, I get that, mate, because you're right. Because to your point, I was talking about the quiz and the don't call it tipping point games at the stadium, and the host does the standard spiel with the kids. It's like, who's your favourite Saints player? And 4 of those 6 kids' answer was Leo Cienza. So if all of a sudden he's ruled out for the rest of the season, I don't even necessarily know if it's as deep as like psychological or like negative damage. Like maybe even just commercially, that's a problem, right? Like if Leo's not about.
Like and it could be that he's training hard behind the scenes and they just don't want to risk him. And like the other talking point that you've not mentioned that I've seen mentioned is that Jack Stevens took a knock with Wood, right, and went straight down the tunnel. So I don't know if you're aware of that or you were. It was something. So yeah, apparently they had a collision during this open training session and he's gone down. So it's probably, in my opinion, just abundance of caution. Of like you don't want to. Don't end up like injuring the skipper just before the Arsenal game,
and not in front of 5,000 fans. Like,
so it's probably just like, we take him off, or it's unfortunately a knock, and it could be it could be worse. But like,
mate, here's the other theory that I'm partially. It might be the hopeless optimism, mate. Maybe this is Tonda's 4D chess, right? We've seen the mind games that he likes to play with this sort of thing and with the press conferences. He loves to be one step ahead of the competition. But what if Arsenal don't prepare for Leo Cienza and then out of the blue he starts because their last like training package was this open training session? Like,
so you're willing to believe that they would have removed him from open training to stop the spies and the game? You genuinely believe we're playing that level of 4-5D chess, like outwitting Arteta?
Yeah, I believe that's the sort of nonsense that would absolutely come out, and that our social media team in particular would have an absolute field day with. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we beat Arsenal and Leo does start, that we don't get like social media clips of him like sat in the stands at open training, like behind people they've identified as like Arsenal scouts.
It's like a beard and a pair of glasses on, like,
yeah.
That's so your running theory is that Leo is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't attend open training is that this is all an elaborate buy. So you don't think he would want to sign stuff for the fans and be involved in open training? And they're like, no, you have to take the sacrifice for the greater good and not participate.
That's why he's doing the public appearance tomorrow, mate, to make up for it, you know?
Okay. Fine. Whatever.
Yeah, man. Look,
sure, mate.
It sounds crazy, but you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. But no, it was a good session. Like I say, the vibes were good. The place was good. Loads of kids out on obviously Easter half term, which is exactly the point of why they're doing it, right? Just to bring the families in and get them more connected to the players and the club. And you could see when the players came out, like, you got to imagine that, all right, we'll do an open training session, sure, we'll train at St Mary's, I'm sure some people will come out. And then to, like, come out and see the entire Kingsland stand basically full of people must be, like, that's got to be a boost, right, for an open training session. Like, not like a match or anything. You've got to think that. But no, it's good. They did some jogging and some warm-ups. Then they did... Right, look, let's preface this section where I explain to you what they did and say that I am not in any way, shape, or form a qualified football coach, right? Like, I play football to a not great level, and as Zach will attest, even at that, I managed to hurt myself last week. Like, I have analysed to the best of my ability of how I tried to explain it to my kids, but that is not to say that this is expert at any level, right? They did a drill where they were just passing the ball in a square and then following the pass, so like pass and move. Which is like basic. I've seen the kids do that at their training sessions.
Seen my mother-in-law do hers.
That one I was able to follow and see the whole point of it. Then they kind of did a big. It was like a big group, I guess, like a rondo, but not quite a rondo. They had it in two separate groups of bibs, with one player who was the green bib, who was Wellington, seemingly being available for both teams to pass the ball to if they were on the ball. And they were just like working on transition, basically, and working on getting as many passes between the players in their bibs as possible. One of the sets of teams got up to like 33 passes. And I don't know, right? I don't know watching this training when you assess that, if you see that as a good thing or a bad thing. Because on one thing, great, that's really good ball keeping. But on the other hand, that's 33 failed attempts at interceptions also from our team. So I don't know. I find the whole thing very... I don't know what to root for. I found it very confusing in my soul. Like...
Man, this is the riveting journalism that all of our wonderful fans tune in for, isn't it? They were doing a drill, and maybe it was all right, maybe it wasn't.
There was a level of intensity to it, and you could see some good passes and some good movement and some other bits. So it was good. It served its purpose, right? Like, it was never going to be like an intense, tactical, focused, or split into five-a-side session. They just came out, did a couple of drills, kept everyone happy, signed some credit cards and Tic Tac packets apparently, and then moved on. So then they went on to their final drill, where they split into three separate teams, and the pitch was split in half, and they had to complete a certain amount of passes between their own coloured bibs, and then pass it off to the other team in the other half of the pitch, whilst the third team was trying to steal the ball and score. And every time the team scored, it rotated and someone else was defending. And the losers of that drill had to do press-ups, was the point that I noticed, which is like, great, this is just PE for them. I don't know. It was Yander, Robinson, and Bragg were the three players that I could see on the losing bib team who were doing the press-ups. So, but yeah.
By the way, nice to see Wellington and Robinson back on the pitch, right?
Yeah, it was great. And, Romeu was there as well, training with the boys. And, yeah, it was good. The goalkeepers came out and then just proceeded for the whole hour to just do goalkeeper warm-ups, just like kick the ball. I guess what other sorts of goalkeeper training do you do other than like someone's kicking the ball at the goal and you save it? It's not a lot to report on from that. Again, not a goalkeeper, not a goalkeeping coach. so I'm sure there was.
Where's all the drills of kicking it onto a 10-piece, 10p piece, mate? That's what we need to start seeing.
Saved for Staplewood, I think, but yeah, in that final drill, there was one particular moment I've written down where Sammy Edozie had a ridiculous touch where he literally just chipped it over one of the players coming to press him at the ball, took it down with an unbelievable finesse, and then just ball rolled it to the side of the other player to come in to tackle him and turned out and ran away. And I was like, well, that looked a bit impressive, and then I immediately heard Taylor Harwood-Bellis shout, "Oh, Sammy, that's ridiculous!" So
nice.
So I'm glad that my analysis was backed up with a player's opinion in that moment. It's like when you say something watching the football, and the commentator says the same thing immediately afterwards. As I felt
always makes you feel a little bit smart, right? Or me and you all discuss things that then end up happening, and we're like, "Oh, look at us being pretend pundits. we, after analysing every single game this season and talking about it, have managed to predict a lineup that barely changes that often. But boy, howdy, the fact that we get all of those 11 players right gives us a buzz of dopamine that is extremely warranted. Same with score prediction, right? Like that's always nice. That's always nice. So we're like, oh yeah, I think I've guessed the score correct a few times. I don't know if I've got all of the goal scorers right. This is another reason I just never gamble because I'm never going to win.
I don't think on the show I've got a correct score once, if I'm honest, mate.
No, so, but you have cursed Tom Fellows to never score a goal, so you know. Your power is stronger than you think, mate.
That's it. And then that was it. Way. That was it from like the active training part, right? That was like 45 to 50 minutes, and they sort of came over and clapped the fans. And then there was the inevitable surge forwards when they came over to sign stuff, at which point my kids turned to me and went, should we go then? Which is fine. I mean, to be fair, they've got shirts they've had signed this season, which I suspect was the main driving force of that. It's like, maybe we'll just show up early to another game this season and be less crowded and do it, I think was the outcome. But
yeah, you can tell they're your kids, mate.
100%. It's like, but yeah, it was a nice day out, nice couple of hours. Like I say, good vibes, lots of talk about building up to a now sold out Arsenal fixture at the weekend. So yeah,
it's not something sold out. It's going to be I know we're going to talk about it at a later date, but it's kind of weird to think that's our next game, right?
Yeah,
probably coming in a good time to play them, to be honest.
A great time, a good time from our perspective, and I guess probably a good time for us from their perspective, right? They've just lost a cup final. They've got Atletico Madrid 3 days after the fixture. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday. The vibes are good. We've just had a break, and in that break, the club has done stuff to also try and increase, the vibes and the good feel and the good stuff around the club. They've been pushing it and, doing good stuff like getting fans in the tunnel when the Legends match and just getting people involved. It's a complete free hit, and you've got to think that we'll fancy it. So anything can happen in the cup, can't it? Like, right?
Yeah, it's just got to be. I hope it goes our way. As the loss of the cup final means, are they going to try and get something out of this cup final again, or have they realised that they need to win the league now for anyone to take them seriously? And that's one of the big things, in my opinion, is probably beneficial for us.
That's the thing, right? Because the run they're on and the opinion their fans are going to hold, if Arteta bottles the league but wins an FA Cup, is that actually going to be enough? Or is that still the joke of same old Arsenal, which is not what anyone wants from their club, right? Like, I think that we're going to fancy it more, which is not something I think earlier in the season we said about our team in any game. But I just think...
No, I also distinctly remember you talking about who cares about the cup anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's different now. You're only one game from Wembley, isn't it? Right? Like,
yeah, this is true.
Because whether opinions on the cup, in especially the early rounds of the cup, matter or not, once it starts to get that close and you're only 3 wins away from actual silverware, it's close enough, isn't it, that people start to take it seriously. Fans, club executives, managers, right? Like, you see the opportunity of even just a semi-final at Wembley, and you just like, yeah, it's got to be taken seriously. And like I say, it's a free hit because there's nobody in football, even Saints fans, are expecting us to beat Arsenal, right? Like, it's not.
True.
It would not be a foreseen result. And, we go out and put a good performance in and get beat 2-0. No one bats an eyelid. Not even Saints fans bat an eyelid at that. That is the expected outcome of that fixture. But, I don't know, mate. You do something crazy and hold down and shut down their attack and steal a goal and sneak a 1-0 win out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, the wallet's taking a hit and we're booking a trip to Wembley, you know? Like, it's that close. It's that close.
True. We'll be able to talk about it, I'm sure, this week in far more depth, mate, eh?
Oh, for sure. Like, I just think, like I say, the work from the club to build the vibes is something that I have noticed. And I don't think that's going to go away. I think that that's going to continue as the week goes on to try and build it up. And it's going to be good. It's going to be a good game. It's a shame that it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday. That's a bit horrible, but it's what, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, TV.
Just good stuff around the club, mate. Like, good to be back, ready to and fresh for the rest of the run-in for the season, regardless of how many trips to Wembley it entails, right? Because at the moment we're looking at as many as 3, which would mean a real busy period of time for us between now and May, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. Potentially expensive. I guess we'll have to figure it out. Oh, dear.
It's great. But look, what time? I'm glad that the vibes were good. I'm glad that the players went and signed all the stuff and everyone seemed to leave very happy. I enjoyed it. Had a good day out. Nice to be back to St Mary's, ready for Saturday. So, yeah, good times all round, man. Mate. It's good to be back, talking about football.
Same.
Right, well, look, that is all we have got time for today, but we will be back to talk more Saints goodness tomorrow. But until then, why don't you drop us a message or a comment on the socials or on any of the platforms that you listen on. Let us know. Did you go to the open training? What are your thoughts? Is Tonda just playing 4D chess with Leo, or are we looking at a more serious injury than we would hope for? Let us know your thoughts, opinions. We love to hear it. We are Daily Saints Pod absolutely everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, YouTube, everywhere. Hit us up and let us know. Like I say, we'll be back tomorrow. But until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and we will see you then.
This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.